Hello, strangers. Strange Worlds Unlimited. I'm your host, Fred Strange. And this is Minecraft. We're going to do a slightly abbreviated session today. I've got to go into work a little bit. Um, so, and in case my brother is still wondering, is still watching or whatever, and, you know, what happened to my message, I deleted it, so I'm going to see if I can, between, because this is going up on YouTube, you know, as a separate session, I want to see if I can, you know, get rid of messages from previous ones so they don't overflow into this one. So, it's nothing personal, it's just business. Anyway, we are we're coughing. I'm dying. So we are at, what are we at here? We're at level 20. So we still got 3 more levels to go down here. And now we're getting into it. So we got this, we got this. And we got this to do. Left. So, but we probably won't get to all of these because, well, you know, I've only got about a half an hour to go. So, we'll see. Oh, we've got about a half an hour. Yeah, about a half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that. So, let's see how much we can do in that span of time here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I suspect we're going to be running fully into whatever part of the mine shaft that we just saw down. We saw stairs going down on the other side here from an abandoned mine shaft, so I get a feeling we're going to be digging into that mine shaft. From here, oops, somewhere. I'm going to take from the top there. One, two, 3. We'll do one more. Okay. That up in that corner. This up in that corner. And those stairs are leading up to somewhere over here. Actually, kind of surprised we didn't hit it already. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I'm gonna go back up. And, oh, that's fun. Nope, wrong. Fill that one up. Fill that one up. So there we go. There we go. Okay. It's gonna be fun. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Ah, more emerald. Close that off. Alrighty. Well, I doubt that Mojang took any advice from me, but at the same time, it's nice to see that they took my suggestion at some point about the fact that we've got all these different kinds of blocks. You've got stone, you've got granite, you've got andesite, you've got diorite, now you got these deep slate, and you know, the deep slate takes longer to you know, you gotta take more swings at it. Which, you know, that should be the case for all of these blocks, is that they should have different hardness levels such that it's going to take, you know, more swings with that, less swings with others, you know. You know, 1 through 3, 4 with that. Let's see, 1, 2. One more. Yeah, the deep slate is taking 4 swings, whereas the regular stone is taking 3. You know, granite should probably take 4 or 5 swings, because it's one of the toughest of all types of stones is granite. Oh, I suspect we're full. We are. Alright then. How fun. Alright. So, breakfast to eat. Hey, not missing. That's missing. You light of my dungeon. You light up my halls to keep creepers out. You bastard. How dare you? Who let you in? guess not. Why not? Tired. I get a bad feeling already. This is going to be one of my busier and more crot-tastic Wednesdays. And for those of you who don't know, when I'm not doing this, I actually have a real job. And despite all of the education and pain and suffering and stuff that I went through to get a degree, get, college educated, get a degree, get a teacher credential, become a teacher, not become a teacher. Now, after going all through that, I'm basically reduced to a taxi driver. But for a, pretty specific purpose. Oh, okay, you are there. It's not, I'm not just any kind of taxi driver. I'm basically, transport, medical transport, specifically. If you've got a doctor's appointment somewhere in my county, whoops, hello. Then, it's my job to take you to that appointment. Okay, so it's pretty specific, it's pretty useful, it's a great service. But I tell you, I would much rather be doing this for a living than that. Mainly because, they schedule all sorts of really weird stuff, particularly on Wednesdays. So I usually get every other Wednesday off, and get every other Saturday off. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So so like today I'm working, and then I'll have this Saturday off from work. Next week I'll have Wednesday off, and I'll be working on Saturday. And it just alternates back and forth like that. And usually when I get a Wednesday schedule, it is just the most insane schedule that you can imagine. They have me going from, and I live in a fairly large county. I live in Southern California, and the counties in California, particularly in Southern California, are rather large. I think the entire state of Rhode Island could fit inside my county. If that gives you, I'm fairly certain we're at least as large as, some of the smaller states like Connecticut. We're definitely bigger than Rhode Island. Connecticut, Delaware. Some of those states could fit either partially or wholly within the county that I live in. That just tells you how big it is. And my business covers everybody with a medical issue. Okay, I need to go up here, don't I? In my county. So, and I mean the actual borders of the county are much bigger than there's a lot of north country in my county that where nobody, few if anybody lives. It's way out amongst, there's a lot of mountains north of here. And so there's very few people that live in those mountains. It's a lot of wilderness. It's a great place for a forest fire. For a couple of years, we were actually able to boast being hosting one of the largest forest fires, if not the largest forest fire in California. I mean, it's still one of. I think you got. There's one raging up in Northern California right now that apparently is holding the record for the largest forest fire in the state. And so we have the second largest at this point. 1, 2, 3. I need to go further. And so but I'm crossing, so pretty much the southern half of the county, which is still significant. I think even just that southern half is probably larger than all of Rhode Island. If you were to turn Rhode Island on its side, because Rhode Island is kind of a north-south state. If you were to turn it and go east-west, you could probably fit one end of Rhode Island to the other end. You could probably fit all of it within the southern part of my county. So imagine driving, and particularly those of you who might happen to live in Rhode Island, driving from one end of Rhode Island to the other, to the other, to the other, zip, 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 one end of the, so it's like, pick up a person on the north, pick up a person on the west end, take him to the east end, pick up a person from the, from the middle, the northern edge of the populated areas, and take them all the way out to the southern part, and keeping in mind that the southern part of the county is the ocean, where we are, the Pacific Ocean is to the south of us, south and west, but mostly south. And I don't think I did this again, did I? So it's a lot of pick up from one place, travel a long distance, drop off at the other place. Yeah, and not in a lot of time either. I mean, it's one thing to have to do that and say, oh, you got all the time in the world to do, But it's usually it's very often very unrealistic time frames. pick up somebody here and get them to their destination. And it's usually, pick up this person, drop them off, and then go pick up the next person. Well, between pick up, drop off, and then pick up next, it's like 15 minutes or something like that, right? And is what they give you in the time frame. Pick this person up at this time, and then pick up the next person in 15 minutes. That means I've got to pick up, drop off, and then, pick up, transport, drop off, pick up, drive, pick up at point A, drive to point B, drop off, drive to the next pickup, and pick up again. And, do that ABC route in like 15 minutes. And it's like, okay, well, that's fine, but it's going to actually take me 20 or 30 minutes to go, to do that. It's like, so it's a lot of very unrealistic things. And it just seems like the Wednesdays that I work are the absolute worst when it comes to that. And the fact that they're starting me off today about a half hour sitting, pick up a person here and transport, pick up a person in this town, take them to another town, and the other town I'm going to anyway, but it's like, okay, well, how much of a detour is this going to be? How much later is that going to make me? Because we don't want to be too late, particularly in people that are going to appointments. If they miss their appointment, some of these doctors' offices are really finicky about, people making their appointments. And so, in some cases, if it's just a medical appointment with a doctor, very often those doctors will cancel their appointment on them. You're 5 minutes late. We can't see you anymore. Come back when you can get here in a more timely manner. Well, of course, these people don't have that kind of choice. They're dependent on us to get them there in that timely manner. And so if we're late, then they're late, and it just, it's just bad all around. And then, of course, there's other people that, we've got like dialysis patients. You get them late to their appointment, they'll still get on their chair and still have, time, still have their dialysis sessions done. But now they're going to be, once their session is done with, is going to be later than it might otherwise have been, which means whoever has to pick them up and take them home is picking them up later than they otherwise would have. And that could put a delay on picking up the next client down the line. And so now I'm going to be late to pick up the next person because, a dialysis patient is coming out late because we got them there late. They have to be on the machine for 3 hours, 4 hours at a time anyway. And, sometimes things will happen that'll make them 15 minutes, half an hour late anyway. Now, if you get them there half an hour late on top of that, now you're not just 15 minutes or 30 minutes late, you may be an hour late. wait to get the next person is very, very bad. So how are we doing on time here? So, you know, it's all a matter of how fast can you get from point A to point B to point C? Can you do it in the time frame that's expected? And it's a lot of added stress. It makes a pretty simple boneheaded job, a little stressful, and particularly if the times, if the points are too far apart, and they don't give you a lot of time to, they're geographically too far apart, and they're time wise too close together. And it's like, how do you expect me to get from one end of town to the other in the amount of time that you're giving me here? Do you really know where things are here? Why are you sending these? Why are you sending me these people? Why are you sending me to pick up these people when they're so far away from each other? How am I supposed to get, how am I supposed to do this job that you've given me to do when all the timelines don't match? When it's, this is going to take longer for me to do this job than the time that you've assigned me to do it in. And it's been one of my biggest complaints about my job, particularly in terms of, the people are okay to deal with. The people I transport are usually, I've only wanted to kick 3 people off of my van in the 3.5 years that I've been doing this job, mainly because they were just, they're absolute the worst racist people you could meet. Racist and or bigoted or something, one guy went off on all these Jews, one guy went off on all these Muslims, one lady went off on all these Mexicans and whatever. How the particularly under the last administration, and how the FBI or somebody should, go around and, like the Germans of the Gestapo, and round up every Hispanic, and knock on every door, and raid any Hispanic household, and round up and deport all the illegals. And it's like, do you know? it's like the FBI and the immigration, ICE should do like the Nazis did. It's like, do you have any clue about what you're talking about? It's like, lady, you are old enough to remember. You're old enough to have lived through the Holocaust years and know exactly what kind of people the Nazis were. And you want the current administration to behave like that. You know, I nearly kicked her off. I nearly kicked her off my van on the freeway. So just get the and what made the statement worse it wasn't enough that she said that, but she did so when I had two other Hispanic people sitting in the back. You know, she's in the front seat, in the passenger seat of the van, and I've got two Hispanic people in the back seat of the van. And I was gonna drop them off first, but it's like, no, I'm gonna take Miss Racist. I nearly kicked her out of my van, but I'm just like, I'm gonna take Miss Racist here home first, even though she's farther away, just to get her off my and get her home as fast as I can and get her out of my van as fast as I can, because it's like, I'm not gonna sit here and listen to this. You know, I'm a historian. You know, I've only studied this stuff. You know, I've only seen, you know, all the newsreel footage. I've already seen, you know, the documentaries, the all that sort of stuff. I've read the magazines. I've read the newspapers. I've read the things, you know, all of the books and stuff that deal with that particular moment of time in history. She's old enough to have lived through it. And for her to say that thing, you know, for her to say that, you know, it's like, I nearly kicked her out. I nearly, you know, the one guy that was going off on Jews, I nearly punched in the face because, well, you know, my father-in-law is Jewish. My wife is, you know, well, is half Jewish. She had, you know, a Jewish father, a Christian mother. She pretty much, you know, she practices some of the traditions, Hanukkah and, you know, Passover and that sort of stuff, and, you know, very, very lightly and mildly, you know, Christmas and stuff. You know, we're that kind of a household that we do the traditions, we do the holidays, but you know, we don't go to church, we don't go to temple, we don't practice any particular religion in this house. My daughter has no knowledge of anything relating to any particular religion. So, and the nicest, sweetest person you will never find. So, you know, you don't have to have religion in order to be a good person. My daughter's proof of that. She has none, and you couldn't find a nicer person. But, you know, I nearly punched the guy out that, you know, all the Jews are doing this, all the Jews are doing that. I nearly punched the guy out and then kicked him out, and out in the middle of the countryside. We got fine, you know, it's Southern California, but yeah, we do still have areas where it's, you know, farm fields, middle of nowhere. This guy would have had to walk miles. Amongst, you know, farmland to get even remotely close to anything resembling home. Yeah. You know, I had one, I don't know what this guy was. He was Iranian or Turkish, Kurdish, I don't know. He well, he was from somewhere in the Middle East, but he was Christian. So one of the rare Christian Middle Eastern people. Um, you know, and I had to drive him twice, and he regaled me with all of the atrocities that the Muslims are responsible for. All Muslims are the devil and terrible people, and they do this and they do that. It's like, buddy, I knew Muslims. I had a Muslim person for my best friend in high school, and he was none of those things. So don't try to sit there and paint all Muslims with that brush. Yes, some Muslims are bad, but so are some Christians, so are some Jews. You pick a religion, there's going to be somebody who's going to pervert that religion into being the worst possible kind of person that they can be. Just because they think that, I'm a member of this religion, and so therefore I'm better than you, and so therefore, and if you don't follow my religion, then you can go to hell, or I'm going to kill you, or whatever. There's people like that in every religion, everywhere. And it's one of the reasons why I don't follow any. Let's see if we can get this part dug out here. I think we're at level 5 now. Oh, there's my cat. Meow, 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 meow. Meow. Meow, meow, meow. 1, 2, 3. So, I mean, those are, 3 people that, because of their just really messed up views on life. I mean, the one lady complains about how, her own children won't even talk to her anymore. It's like, gee, I wonder why, lady. You're a horrible person. What? Can't imagine why your kids won't want to be around you. You say crap like that, it's like, you should be proud that your children are so enlightened. They avoided the terrible life lessons that you were trying to teach them. Because they're nothing like Mom. Thank goodness. This deep slate stuff is dark. The problem with this deep slate is that it's fucking dark. I'm kind of glad that they made the light levels for the 118 such that, you know, apparently things are only gonna spawn if the light level is down to 0, whereas normally it's like, you know, what was it, 7, 8, you know, you get a light level of like 7 or 8 and things will spawn. So in the future you're gonna, you know, they've lowered that down to 0, you know, no light level 0, and then things will spawn. 1, 2, 3, okay. Which I think is going to be a very good idea, because I swear to God, this deep sleep stuff, which, you know, you start getting down into the real deep parts of, you know, of those caves. Once the 118 starts, you know, you're gonna have, you know, you get down into the lower parts there. You know, I mean, you saw the deep slate. You know, this stuff is going to be in chunks. You know, up to like level 20 or stuff, right? But once you hit level 0 for sure, down, you know, it's going to be deep slate from there on down. And this stuff absorbs light like crazy. Look how dark it is over there still. You got this black stone that just absorbs the light. And so, yeah, I mean, at normal light levels, you're still, I mean, you can light the damn thing up like crazy. You could have a torch practically on every block. It'd still be dark enough that you still gotta spawn stuff. If they didn't adjust that. Alright. Once I get this dug out, this will be the end of this session here. And then I've got to leave. It's about time to go anyway, so I guess we got to manage to get a full session in here. It wasn't quite as abbreviated as it probably should have been. I just can't linger. I'm just gonna have to, once I sign off and turn off and everything, I'm just gonna have to, wow, I'm already full. I think. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Alright, well. Why can't I eat the fish? I can't eat the fish. Oh man, oh man, oh man. So if you like this, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe for more. Share it around. Check out my links on social media, Twitter page, so that you can follow, especially when I don't upload anything. You'll be the first to know. And, or, you know, when I'm not able to do, you know, recording, you know, the live stream or something like that, you'll be the first to know. Subscribe, of course, on YouTube. That way, you know, you can see when I post things. I try to post stuff every day. Sometimes that doesn't happen. So, you know, there's ways for, you know, if I don't do what I'm scheduled to do, I'll let people know one way or another, and that way you and if you follow along on you know, follow me on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, you know, follow my Twitch feed. You're gonna get all the information that you need in order to, you know, say when I'm on, when I'm off. Hello, Sunflower Bear. You caught me just as I'm leaving. You gotta wake up sooner. So I gotta go to work, and so you know, check all that stuff out. Check out my Patreon page so you can you know, there's nothing there, but if you want to, you know, contribute and help the channel, you can go there. You can contribute to me directly through Twitch, or go and find the website for my books and buy a book and contribute to the channel and me and all of that stuff that way. But in the meantime, hello, I must be going. This is the end. I will see you guys on Friday. I will see you Twitch people on Friday. Yay! So have a good day at work. Yeah, well, I'm gonna try. We'll see what my schedule is like. And I will see you guys in the next video, whenever that is. Stay strange. Bye bye.